continuing their streak here in the final hour. 2 eliminations already, a third party closing in. They've got ample amounts of shield though. What they really need is more white heals and an opportunity to disengage, most importantly of all.
Honestly, from Walks, that was an incredible angle to counter the ramp that was thrown in the box right there. Quick thinking, swift action. It's gonna allow them to win that fight right there. Tinka has to be careful. They may have won an OCE championship, but here on the global stage, everyone is on equal footing. Things slow down for a moment. Other teams lurking nearby, listening, watching. Brazil, OCE, you never know who's gonna jump in first.
Chicho and Trulix, though, they're just sticking to what's tried and true. Surge base up, scour the entire area, and apply pressure onto the teams down in Doomsday. Keep in mind, that's likely going to be Epic Whale, Muzz, Ritual, one more time, having to deal with Trulix and Chicho's affairs, but Chicho, Trulix, definitely trying to be wary. A couple of shots found their way from the flank positions, and despite how high up they've managed to build these surge bases, you could still be vulnerable when you got these open edits.
No shots returning just yet, though. Everyone almost in position for good reason. Sphinx and Dukes on the other side, playing the Storm right now, trying to, of course, secure what they can here. What a performance from Dukes this weekend here. Again, flying straight up to the top, not really looking back after making the top 5. He has just been so consistent with Sphinx. A duo that honestly we didn't even see coming out of nowhere. Back on over to Vico and Flixie. The Railways pushed out very early this time around with this far western pull.
Part of the reason being, though, we saw Vico and Flixie last we checked in. They were trying to surmount a base around the forecast tower that spawns just a little bit next to Dumpin Hazen, but with Bryson Bolts right behind them, you almost have to imagine that Bryson Bolts potentially could have pushed them out of that position. Chapentini on the other end, they're trying to deal with the likes of Ed and Persa. Nitrodrome action only going to continue to pick up. There's a lot of commotion that both of these duos are making, and they're on the outside of the zone. Granted, they have plenty of time to work with. TD and Chap could also always opt to take this flaming boost tube if they feel as though this battle isn't worth their time.
Definitely are looking like it's time to get out of here. Couple eliminations, but time to just recoup, bounce back, get the materials, and find your way towards the mid game here. Meanwhile, Booga falls to the hands of Muzz and Epic Whale, and they are racking up the loot now. Other teams are still here at the Doomstot, though. Big rotates coming in, it seems like, from Reet and Ritual. Mapoli and Zoyota as well, just lurking, trying to find an opportunity here to pounce in.
That was a big set of eliminations, though, that Muzz and Epic Whale managed to find. And the fact that it was on to Aviv and Booga can be crushing when you consider that they had started to surmount the comeback potential, trying to maintain the top 10. Aviv unable to get the revive. Respect the commitment, but Muzz and Epic Whale just a little bit too quick on the collapse. Here, the crowd cheering as Thomas HD and Queasy come into view one more time. They're heading straight for this weapons bunker south of the Nitrodrome, and there's already company nearby. So instead, they might opt to pivot, take this flaming boost tube instead, Flowberry Fizz, and it's a fast rotate.
They're on the move right now, Swizzy and Yapko as well, just outside the Grim Grate. Trapped in between Murstache and Malibuca in the distance, a bunker here, of course, being the big upgrade to their loadout. The fact that they get this bunker completely uncontested makes a huge difference as well. Yapko with a single elim right now, starting to cap out on material. This is where focus will start to shift into where do they want to base down for the mid game. jumping in with Pollo and Peterbot. You can see who's on the way here without giving it away. There is a very clear, determined play in motion right now to intercept this duo.
At the same time, though, you've got to time it right. Queasy and Thomas know Pollo and Peterbot, as long as they have Emma Frost reveal medallion, every 50 seconds, that marker is going to go out. It is essentially full view of everyone surrounding you, and a big credit for as to why Peterbot has been able to find those 2 solo clutches for the victory royales here today.
Thomas HC is going to take a lot of damage there. It's time for Squeezy to possibly step up here, but Bakken Pars just going to back up, play that high ground, play that angle. More tags from behind. This is a huge setback now for Queasy here, forced to heal. Loadout looking pretty scrappy as well, given that they don't have big upgraded weaponry, right? They could use a bunker, they could use an elite chest or something. They definitely need something.
They've at least got mats to work with, though, and that could be the ultimate difference maker. Rift Island spawning off in the distance. Kashoro, Keiki, but it's Pollo and Peterbot that'll be first to the top. Capture point in sight. And with the control of Rift Island nearly underway, Pollo, Peterbot from this position sitting just inside of the zone as well. Their next intent likely gonna be to just fully restrict the flow of this lobby.
And it's almost easy for them to know where the Rift Island is gonna spawn. They have the forecast tower. They know where the next zone's going. Obviously, the island's gonna be in it, if not extremely close like it is right now. So it makes sense. Pollo and Peterbot are isolated here, and they will be for quite some time. This is, again, probably the weirdest Rift Island we've seen off on the western coast.
And even worse still, it's just a little bit above a weapons bunker as well. With that in mind, Peterbot, Pollo know teams are gonna want to get drawn towards that weapons bunker, but trouble afoot here for Vico and Blixie, incredibly low. Vico dropping immediately the ultimate low ground. It's a risky play whenever you opt, try and glide in, but Casper, Prism on the other side of these walls, and they are looking for an opportunity to take this team out.
Taking walks in a fight right now, continuing to key the lobby down. They want to jump up into those positions, and now they fight their way into 5th here as they're ramping it way online right now. Vico and Flixie next door to Casper and Prism. Paper and Victor V looking inwards, trying to see what's happening here. You have Kanata and the reigning champ, Cooper, there as well. Very, very contested spot here. Meanwhile, Bolts and Bryce, who are our 5th place team coming in, but now slipping down just nearby.
But Bryce and Bolts, they're still slinking around restored rails, and they can hear all of the action, all of the shots being fired just west of them, sometimes a little bit south. Bolts, Bryce, scavenging everything that remains here inside of restored reels, but if anything, their primary focus is exclusively on just maintaining a strong placement to close today out.
Great tags from Chicho. Every time we've jumped in, he is just on it with Trulex here. They have played very, very well. It's that 3rd place spot is what is open for them right now. They're gonna pop this Flowberry Fizz and get their rotate going now. Of course, have the dashes, given that it's right on top of the Grim Gate. And all things considering, if the zone ends on the Grim Gate, that will be a factor in its own to take into account for an end game.
Well, don't count it out just yet, because we're seeing that river of sticks get further and further into the heart of these zones. Clicks, Benno caught up currently with Malibuca and Murstache. From one side of the map to the next, though, Murstache, Malibuca know that they're gonna need some elimination points as well. They lost a lot of their footing they had after the conclusion of day one, day two, just too many threats, too many times of falling victim to the power of Oceana, Alex, and Worthy. And now Thomas HD, Queasy, they've managed to work their way from that sticky situation of dealing with Pars and Baka at the ship-it station, but still more trouble afoot here because they are fully aware of the fact that this current Surge base is not empty.
It looks like they're looking to gear back up to take the fight again because they have to here. But Queasy scarily leaving himself available and open, trying to tempt others to jump in. Meanwhile, Baka and Pars are gonna bring it down and then go for the catch. This could be everything here. Thomas takes a lot of damage. Queasy is hurt as well. The lobby sees what's happening here, and a desperate spray of builds starts to come out to try to keep them alive. No armored walls. This is the worst we've seen their loot.
They went for a risky maneuver really early on for what looked like an attempt to intercept Peterbot and Pollo's pathing, but now instead they find themselves caught in the crosshairs, 2 below the damage threshold. Seemingly the first time it feels like this weekend that we've seen this duo truly struggle with their Surge management, but just like that, Thomas HD, Queasy, they find a moment of relief, a chance to breathe here, regenerate their shields as much as possible. But the situation continues to remain dire here for Vico, as he's a solo, no Flixie.
A lot of our top 3 right now in desperate situations for Vico here. What can you do? He's only 47 damage above the threshold. The damage needed starting to rack up here. He knows it, we know it. And now he moves. Goes back to where his teammate was fallen, trying to get a little heal off here. And he is missing every opportunity to rotate. Thomas HD, Queasy have to go for a fight here, but no! They get caught and taken down! And just like that, the tournament run for Thomas HD and Queasy come to a close. Boyo and Peterbot effectively survived long enough to be your global champions.
Pollo and Peterbot, they're not even taking a moment to celebrate. It is all business as usual for these two. They want to leave it out with a bang. They're trying to find this last victory royale. Peterbot called yesterday in interviews on socials, I will get 3 victory royales on the day.
Peterbot's dancing in the box. He knows what just happened. He knows they have done enough.
They died. One. Yeah. Both of them. Come on. Come on, bro. Let's go, baby. Let me look.
He knows. They know. Boyo can't even hide the smile.
What?
You know, you got to think about it. Every single major this year, they have been at the podium top, including the back-to-back coming out of the majors, and then to win the in-person event for the global competition. The interviews that were racked up across all of the competitors here pointed in one direction, and that's to Peterbot, that's to Boyo. And they are still showing up in the last game, and they'll very likely win this at this point.
Peterbot is an undisputed best player in the world currently, alongside his duo Pollo. They're still making sure to deal with the lobby as needed. Ping floating in the water here, but Peterbot and Pollo, second in Major 1. And then the hat trick to conclude the year, first place every single time. What more could you ask for?
And he's got some of the most victories pulled here on the grand final stage. Just keeping it so close as well. Nothing of a perfect performance by any means, but just so far ahead of the rest. Clearly, he's a cut above the competition, but for others, there's still a lot to fight for here as second and third are now out of the game. If Bolts and Bryce pull a big game here, they could very well jump their way up into some significant new prizing and maybe be called the third, maybe the second best team in the world.
They're not the only ones seeking it out either. You've got to keep in mind Trulix and Chicho, Wax and Ping. Also Spinks and Dukes They had a little bit of a slippage, but everyone is still within striking range, depending on who actually closes out. Lobby number 12, Bolts with the elimination from afar. It's gonna be Baka that falls. Pars now a victim of the surge damage takes as well as the focus of the lobby, and he's taken out.
Bolt's on the move right now, looking to secure that loot. Nicely done for him, but they are barely holding on right now. The surge should turn offline here shortly. However, they still want to find damage just to give them that peace of mind. Meanwhile, Clix is still up, trying to navigate this game. So there's a lot at works here. Bolt's looking around, Bryce looking around. What opportunities are available here? Not many.
The problem is how chaotic these final few moments are about to become. Everyone's got access to this river of sticks. Next to restored reels, the underworld dashes coming into effect. Teams able to conserve as much material as possible with these vicious rotates, not to mention the aggression avenues that it opens up with being able to immediately dash into somebody else's box. Clone, Kramsu even taking full advantage, immediately charging at Seti and Cammy, but it's Chicho and Trulex who are trying to make the difference here. Janet's gonna be taken out. Monarch pistol accuracy on point currently for Chicho.
He's just so good with it. The highlights continuing to rack up. Now Chicho and Trulex sitting underneath the box of Sphinx and Dukes, who have the high ground here, but a rotate has to come out. It's a long stretch from here to the new zone. Sphinx is on the move right now. 37 players in the game, 19 duos remaining. Pewterbot and Foyo still playing the low ground right now. They have eyes on Batman, Booger, and Rapid. They have eyes on Kanata and Cooper. Who will be the next to fall victim to your champions at this point?
Pewterbot and Foyo are floating through this lobby. Quite literally, secondary height gonna fall under their control temporarily. They're still choosing to target forward, maintaining this front side position. They haven't challenged height just yet, but that scan bound to go out soon enough. They know Shadow Virgo directly underneath them. Bryce Bolts now trying to collapse into the same layers, but they realize it's Foyo, it's Pewterbot underneath us. We've got to escape.
They can't stick around him for too much longer, or it'll be disastrous. And what a storybook finish for Pewterbot and Foyo 2. They used to be the kings of Grim Gate, let's not forget it. They play very well with the underworld dashes at their disposal. Bolt and Bryce up against Phaser and King now. They are very, very weak. However, the surge is online, and they're taking a lot of damage here.
And Bryce and Bolts fall now. Walks, Pink, Trulex, Chicho, bound to have smiles from cheek to cheek, but the job's not finished. They've got to keep powering through. Same could be said here for Foyo and Pewterbot. They've already secured the global championship, but they don't even care. They still want more.
Still makes you wonder how much harder everyone will need to work. They want to win this one and take it from Pewterbot and Foyo, because what they're doing, they want to close out in strong fashion, and Brazilian duo up top of Ed and Persa are standing in their way, and Foyo wants nothing to do with it.
Foyo, Pewterbot, they know only one player is between themselves and hype. Instead, they will drop momentarily. They already got an elimination. Pewterbot's still looking for more, though. Armored Wall's gonna cut him off for the time being, but Pewterbot, Foyo, they find King. Another 6 points added to the tab, and it's not done yet.
They're gonna heal all the way up now. A little bit of mats to work with here too, but they still need a bit more. Still looking for Ed, still looking for Persa, looking to break out the build. And I think they're up top, but no. They have everything to themselves now, but no material to work with.
Batman, Booga, and Rapid, they can tell up ahead. Teams pressuring onto their ceilings, but again, Teeny, Jap, has already fallen, and Teeny just trying to do what he can to navigate the chaos. He sees Rapid go down. He wants to make his way to the body loop, but he's not going to be able to scurry any longer. Immediately taken out by Foyo nonetheless. Pewterbot finds Teeny all the while. Virgo next to fall. And Trulex, Chicho just doing what they can to survive.
And look at who jumps down once again. Pewterbot, Foyo finding all these angles onto everyone. Meanwhile, Chicho lurking on the low ground takes out the immediate competition, securing their 3rd place. Pewterbot, though, wants to win here. He's looking to take it from Reet. Claps back with a huge shot Things have to slow down now. Boyo comes up to support his teammate. The scan comes out. They know where everyone's at. The med kit is there as well. Boyo, the perfect partner in crime for what is unfolding here right now. And just a couple of duels left. They don't have a lot of HP. Boyo looking to show them what he is made of.
Boyo and Peterbot have had so much time now to recuperate what they lost as far as health is concerned. Peterbot's already got one knock on to Trulex. It's just Chicho standing between them at this point. And Peterbot finds his third victory royale on the day, but most importantly of all, a global championship.
The undisputed 2024 champion, Boyo, Peterbot, taking home in the only way they know how, and that is with a victory royale. Congratulations.
Everything was for this moment.
Forward! Would you please give it everything you've got for the FNCS Global Champions 2024 Peterbot and Boyo! Congratulations, come this way, guys. Come and stand in front of me. Bring the trophy with you. Come to stand just here, fellas. Bring that trophy, because it is very much all yours. Wow, you've done it. The Global Champions forward! Peterbot, I'm going to come to you first. How does it feel to officially confirm Global Champion?
It means the world to me. I mean, we knew we were going to win coming into it, and we're the best duo in the world.
Boyo, the trophy is yours. It has been an incredible year. Tell us exactly what's going through your mind right now as well.
I mean, this is amazing. Like, we got second the first major, and then win, just 3P.
We heard you earlier on the comms say, greatest in the world, baby. Is that what it feels like right now? You've proved it on this main stage.
Yeah, we are the greatest in the world. I will say that, for sure.
It's been an incredible 2024 for you guys. Back-to-back majors, the Global Championship as well. It feels unstoppable. How has your experience been this weekend? Everything play out as you planned? I mean, you came into this with such confidence, Boyo.
Yeah, I think we were going to win. Like, the first few games at the start of this day didn't go as like planned, but it ended up working in the end.
I'm going to ask as well here, you were really pushed to the limits there. You came in strong today. Bit more difficult, but you managed to ride through what the experience of this year and those major titles as well. That's really what feels like got you here as well, to confirm officially greatest in the world.
3P. We got a 3P now.
I'm going to ask one last time as well, for you guys, Boyo, what do you want to say to the fans out there? I mean, Fort Worth, make some noise one more time. The fans there, everyone watching at home. Anything you want to say to them down the camera right now, just say, what do you feel? You and Peterbot right here.
Thank you for everyone being here. My family's here as well. Thank you to them. Thanks for being here.
Peterbot.
Same for me.
One more time, Fort Worth, would you please put your hands together and give it up for your FNCS Global Champions 2024, Peterbot and Boyo!
There you have it. After an unbelievable year, Peterbot, Boyo, from a record-setting major number 2 to the back-to-back champions, coming in, defending titles, and now, here in Fort Worth, our global champions. Gentlemen, take a deep breath.
I don't need a deep breath.
You don't need a deep breath. I love it. Guys, I want you to just bask in that for a moment. You've done it. You set an unbelievable record in Major 2. You back-to-back in Major 3. And then you take it that one step further. A global championship title.
Oh, bro, let's go, dude.
Pollo, you said you're here with your family. How does it feel, man, to know you're a global champion? You've worked so hard all year long. Your family is here. NA is here with you. Fort Worth is here with you. Dig deep, tell me, how does it feel?
Feels amazing. I mean, last year I didn't do like as good as I wanted, so now winning, it feels even better. And then with the fans, my family being here, makes it even better.
Peterbot, same question, brother. Dig deep, let me know, how's it feeling?
I mean, I have like 20 family members in the crowd right now.
Let's go.
Feels the world, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome stuff, guys. Listen, it's hard because you guys have broken records throughout the entirety of the year, almost every single one that has ever existed. You guys got second, first. Now you went on the international stage. I guess the question for me is, are your eyes or your goals set on anything else? Like, have you done it all? Do you want to go further? Do you want to just keep winning? Where are we going?
I mean, you can only just keep winning.
Peter?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're gonna win 3 out of 3 next year, and we'll win globals next year too.
Wow.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Look, Pollo, you burst onto the scene last year. I remember you were trying out with Boog. Everyone said, who's this kid? Pollo, where's he come from? NA West, what on earth is going on? Your rise has been incredible. And of course, understandably, everyone looks at Peter and goes, this guy's the best in the world. But for you to have achieved what you've achieved the past 2 years, right? Talk to me about how you've done that and advice you'd give to young up-and-coming talent who want to do what you've done.
Yeah, so I got a good teammate, Sphinx. We ended up getting 3rd, 5th. We got a coach that really helped us. So from that, and then I played with Peter. So then we won. So to the people like out there that want to play, just play, like just play every day, and then just watch people, watch pros, watch your mistakes as well.
Guys, I want you to take a moment here. I just want you to just look around this stadium. Look at all of these fans standing up for you guys. They are here with you in this moment. You have created a moment in FNCS history that we will remember forever. What do you guys want to say to these fans, to the fans at home who are watching and want to aspire to do what you do, who are literally yelling your name the same way these fans here have been yelling?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's home court advantage. The fans, you guys are amazing, and I appreciate all you guys for coming out and watching.
Same thing.
Absolutely fantastic. Fort Worth, one more time, give it up for your global champions! Guys, thank you so much. Grab your trophy, get out of here, go celebrate. We'll take those headsets from you.
Guys, bro.
Hey.
That's right, go on. One more time, Dickies Arena, let them hear it! Man, Vivid, Levin, what do we even say? What else could we say about this duo? They have not allowed us to talk about anybody else. We've tried. We have tried. And yet, every step of the way, they have stolen the spotlight. And now they walk away as global champions.
I mean, being closely associated with the NAFNCS throughout the year, there were doubts every single major for this duo to win it. Yeah, the first one they got second, but every single time they proved everybody wrong, and Levin was talking about it. I mean, there were huge doubts coming into the global championship this year. Oh, Peterbot not going to be as good in person. Well, I think this performance has shut everybody else up. I have no idea what negative things you could have to say about this duo. They seem unstoppable.
I think everyone's pretty much established that, yes, these guys are the best team in the world. Forget about that. They are the best team of all time. There has never been a duo this good. speaking of individuals, of course, the big man, Skinny P, there has never been a player that good. Nobody has reached the levels he has shown us this weekend. The way he played, I don't know if anybody ever will. This guy is a different gravy. This duo is a different level. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for them, man. This is special.
Just to think as well, I mean, Peterbot, it's crazy to think about it, you know. He is just this star, but behind every star, there's always that player to help him shine brighter. Pollo, it didn't matter the situations. He was always right there with Peterbot. In those situations where it looked bleak, I mean, even in that last game.
Royale.
7 eliminations for Cammy and Seti. Seriousness on their face, given that they know there is a long tournament in front of them. Match number 8 is going to close out, and it's incredible to think that this is a team that is always so prepared, right? So it's a new day.
Would you please give it up? Your Game 8 winners is Cammy and Seti! Should I hop up for me there, fellas? I'll come down, I'll come down. What a day, what a start to the day. Second game, a victory royale. You guys have been in this position before. Walk us through the end game there. It seemed that the high once again reigned supreme.
Yeah, I mean, we were at that side, so we just took the high ground because it was very free. And I think this is the first game that we really had Surge. And yeah, we're just gonna try to do our best to have Surge in other games and then try to win more.
Well, you guys as well, you've been in this position before, our 2022 Invitational winners. What kind of experience does that, guys, give you in moments like this, having been through the likes of that?
I don't even know. We just played high and we won. Like, I don't know. We just need to focus on the next games. Maybe we win some more, and yeah, we will see.
You seem very locked in as well here. As we can see, the 1.5 multiplier really changing things up on the leaderboard. A few more games like that, and who knows, you could be lifting the trophy again, Seti. Who knows? For you guys, how do you push through now? What do you do next?
I think we just have to stay calm, get Surge, and try to win more games. That's it.
And lastly, I want to say, it's a big day as well for Seti here, folks. It's someone's birthday today, okay? On a count of 3, can we all say happy birthday? 1, 2, 3! There you go. Whatever happens, thousands of people chanting your name. One more time, give it up for Cammy and Seti! Happy birthday, buddy. And on that note, Game 8, as you can see, things are really changing on the leaderboard now. What will happen next? We're going to find out. Once again, a short break from us. Do not go anywhere. Don't be silly. There's loads more Global Championships coming your way right after this.
Hello and welcome back to the FNCS game number 2 on the day, 8 overall. Seti, Cammy find themselves the victory royale as well. Fortnite fan, please give a big welcome Kelly Link and Mini Miner as they join us here to break down this game. I cannot believe how insane this game went for the duo.
I mean, when we saw kind of the new season, we thought, wow, low mobility. This really seems like this could be Cammy and Seti's season, especially when we had the lackluster performance from Major 3. And then day 1, it was a bit of a disappointment, but they are here to show up now from the high ground, taking absolutely crazy shots onto some of the biggest names on the low.
Yeah, and it's something that we spoke about on the desk yesterday. This team have the potential to take high. I think if you're a traditional Fortnite viewer, maybe you haven't watched for the last few years, you might think, oh, this is a sort of low ground consistent duo, right? That never play high. No, that's not the case. These guys have learned how to play high these last few years, and of course they can pull it out when they need it. The zone really worked in their favor for them this game. We saw them setting up. Of course, it went all the way back over the Mount Olympus mountain. We saw Queasy and Thomas as well on the front side trying to set up for height, but with the way that zone pulled back, there was only one team that could take height.
I love there after that when they just sat back down, just leaned back in the chair. That's right, everybody. We're going to take that in. You watched it right. We got ourselves a victory royale. I would love as well him just calling out, you know, hey, we got dead side. We had our surge in check. A lot of these duos are still having those issues, right? Trying to manage Storm Surge.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, taking advantage of kind of that early high ground where they were able to kind of get those tags that they need from around the lobby, and then using it, seeing where the zone is pulling on that Mount Olympus south side mountain, where obviously if you get the high ground, you pretty much control the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, 100%. And what's most surprising to me about this is actually their first win of the entire chapter. So it's like, how have Cammy and Seti not managed to get wins? It hasn't been their most amazing chapter overall, but this is going to give them that huge boost of confidence, because I was looking on the leaderboards going into this game, they were quite low down there. I think it was like sort of top 40 area. So this is going to boost them up in the standings. This is going to boost their confidence as well. And I hope to see more from this duo like that.
Also, what better birthday gift than to get a victory royale?
Not bad.
On the global stage. Why not? Happy birthday to you, Seti. We got to talk about a couple things here, like Peterbot and Pollo. Now 2 games that they've had a really difficult start, which is, again, it just feels so uncharacteristic, especially after yesterday.
You know, Minnie at the top of the show asked me, Kelly, what do you want to see today? And I said, you know, I want it to be a close game when we get to game 12. But I don't know if I necessarily meant this. I don't know if I meant our top team to go down twice without any points except for a few elimination points. And honestly, I'm wondering if it's just due to these rotations that they were dealing with, the over-aggression that we see from Peterbot and Pollo a lot. Also, getting kind of third-party time and time again has just been such a struggle for them.
Yeah, they're struggling with their heals, I think. They're getting into a lot of these fights, not necessarily finishing them off, getting to use their own heals or having to use their own heals. And we saw it right there. Pollo went down first, and it was actually Sky that got the knock credit for that. So he was actually dipping off. Sky and Score were saying, right, let's go into the storm. But then they saw that little knocked Pollo on their screen. They thought, right, you know what? This is going to be a 2v1 against Peterbot. We then get the best medallion in the game. We get the best weapon in the game. It's worth a fight there. But of course, they didn't quite close out the fight in the end.
Speaking of uncharacteristic, using the armored walls to box up, probably potentially to revive Pollo, but unfortunately knocking Pollo out of the box instead. And I mean, I'm just guessing it's nerves. Obviously going down game 1 was a bit of a upset for them, and maybe those nerves they need to shake off for game 3.
That's right. That's right. I actually want to take it back to this boxing up of a moment, right? We actually have a listen in from that exchange. Let's see how this went.
I'm just getting the most unlucky loot of all time. We might need the bunker, bro. 79 alive.
We could actually, everyone's dead. Do you have whites to go back? I have one white.
If we don't get whites, we're dead, by the way. No heals. No whites.
Yeah,
Get any? You get any?
No. We could go to campfire.
No, we need to go now.
Okay.
We still need more whites.
We're gonna go northeast, like, to the,
Bad?
pad that you hit.
I need to pop my own
Rest,
hit.
Yeah, pop
I
your
need
med
to-
kit and rest.
Wait, he just killed you.
There's bandages under, man. That I can use. 6 armors if we have to, without it.
Okay.
Get the armor, guys. I'm on the other wall, I'm on the other wall.
No, man.
Get it out.
I'm dead, bro.
Definitely a difficult situation for the duo. I mean, did you see how many different opportunities there was for any heal available at all and did not receive a single one?
sometimes it just goes that way. You know, that is a little bit of that RNG factor we're kind of used to seeing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Unfortunately, there is just an element of RNG when it comes to Fortnite, and that does mean what you're going to get out of those chests, what you're going to find as floor loot, and unfortunately finding barely any white heals, going as far as into the storm to get that bunker. But now, seeing where they are on the leaderboard, Peterbot and Pollo dropping down to second place, meaning that Thomas, HD, and Queasy are in first place.
Yeah, they are. I mean, what a turn of events right here. That's the first time this entire chapter that Peterbot and Pollo have placed outside of the top 25 in back-to-back games. And who's taking advantage of that? It's Thomas, HD, and Queasy. They would have seen Peterbot and Pollo going down in the feed, and you can see the way that they play this endgame. They weren't necessarily taking too many risks. You saw Thomas, HD playing out those med kits towards the end. We saw them sort of poised for height as well just before that sort of 9th zone started to pull, and unfortunately it didn't quite work out for them. They were in the prime position for it, and of course, as we know, Cammy and Seti ended up coming out on top there, but it was this moment right here, Thomas just squeezing out as many placements as possible, 6th place in the end. It's not an amazing game, it's not a first place like we saw in the game number 1, but it's a very, very good game to overtake that first place spot.
And honestly, with the lack of materials that they had at the end game there, they played it perfectly. They stayed to the low, they stayed back so that everyone that was staying in the front of zone where all that chaos is in the low and middle ground would not be affecting them. But of course, when you get down to just 6 teams, eyes are everywhere and you will eventually be caught out. But still, with what they were given in that game, Queasy and Thomas played that so well.
That's right, and for them, you know, it was looking good for Queasy and Thomas, right? There was just one problem. You look up and you're like, we got high right. You look up, oh, steady Cammy, nice. Wow, with that being said, though, we are prepared for more action here from the FNCS Global Championship. Game 9 is here and ready, so casters, take it away.
Yeah, you know, this is the dream for us as talent, watching this all play out and things starting to get close as we get to the final moments.
Look, everybody from a spectator point of view wants to see some close finishes, but Peterbot and Pollo, I kind of want to see them bounce back because we heard it from Peterbot on the call, just the most unlucky loot of his life. But let's see what Match 9 might have in store. And just like that, we are back. Technically, MDF approaching the halfway point on today. And with that in mind, this is where the pressure is really gonna start to surmount onto so many of these players. Queasy and Thomas, they have made it to the top of the leaderboard, but now it's all about maintaining that position.
Yeah, the truth is that it's only gonna get more and more difficult from here on out. You start to see the reality of the situation, and that's you actually have a chance now to take it all away. Every moment is going to come with that little bit of hesitation, right? That second opinion inside the back of your mind of whether or not it is the right move. But you have to continue to follow your instincts, follow your gut here. Worthy and Alex right now doing what they've done since yesterday, carrying in the momentum here. They've continued to win the drop. They're on 4 wins of the drop consecutively, and it seems like things changed after they started getting loot first.
And what's also really turned things around for them is, like you just said, they kind of led off day 1 with a couple of wins here at Restored Reels. Granted, one of those maybe a little bit more in favor for them to start with. Mustache Malabuka encountering some difficulties of their own along the way, but that being said, Malabuka, Mustache, the ball's in their court to try and bring this one back to life for them, because the reality of the situation is they have not been able to build any points for 2 matches already today.
Yeah, Malabuka, Mustache, clearly amazing players, right? And from the European region that we know and love. But let's jump in with Huddy and Kovacs, talking about EU juggernauts right now on the move up against Atlantic, Skrull, and Sky. Skrull and Sky rotated very early in match 8. Come match 9, though, they're looking to stick around and see this fight all the way through to the end, most likely. Kovacs and Huddy have a lot to lose here. They are in 5th place. Sky and Skrull have a lot to gain as they can fight their way up to the top 5 potentially with one good game, given the multiplier.
Sky and Skrull, they're definitely familiar with these early contest fights off spawn, but couldn't help but notice what looked to be either King or Phaser kind of lurking just a ways further north from Rebel's Roost in the distance. So some possibilities of a third party to take place. It all depends on just how noisy this exchange actually manages to get. And in fact, it is King lurking nearby, potentially hoping for a moment to just stroll through, clean up some easy eliminations, get those points online, because we've already seen King and Phaser make a deep run into the end game in match 7, and they're definitely hoping to try and replicate some of that.
Also looking to just scrap this building out for what they can here in case the fight does come down to the basement. Sky and Skrull doing the same as well. Luckily enough, they're on the back side of the building, so Phaser and King don't quite have lights and eyes on them just yet. But I'm assuming the attention's going to come in shortly. Give it a moment. Kovacs and Huddy catch a foot there. They know where one player is.
And look, we're familiar with these battles, these early exchanges, but everything that I've noticed so far here today, FDF, is that it's very evident so many of our competitors are just freestyling every single part of their strategy here today. No one is on the same loop paths, the same rotations that they were making all throughout the course of yesterday, and that has made it incredibly difficult for some of these teams that I think just got a little comfortable with what to expect, now having to completely switch things up on the fly.
Yeah, even this battle is going to hit the brakes for a moment, but here we get a little update with Clix and Vino in the early game. What's happening here is that they're just trying to get situated for the first time in what feels like the entire tournament. Sandy Steps is in the zone. That's going to change the dynamic quite a bit, actually, given that they won't be sitting in the storm potentially fighting other players, and other teams won't be just rotating in expecting them to be there.
And again, Clix and Benno definitely like to play for the vending machine that's nearby so they can expend that little bit of extra time inside of the storm, tanking those early storm ticks without having to necessarily worry about it, because they'll have that ample amount of white heat. But Skrull, Sky, currently recognizing the fact that there's more than just one other team nearby. And Phaser and King, they've actually got the cutoff route. The moment that any of these other two duos, whether it's Kovacs and Huddy or Sky and Skrull, chooses to try and depart from Rebel's Roost, they're going to get held on the edge of zone depending on where Phaser and King box up. But not only that, Phaser, King, they have to close out on that exchange because they spent so much time not getting early surge tags.
Take a look what's happened here. Aviv already has an elimination, and Booga is right behind him right now. Remember, they land just a little further north, so sliding in, cleaning up house. Seems like Job and Michael were also here, part of this fight. Chicho and Trulex on the move right now, trying to get into the zone here. Being held out now by Booga and Aviv. They're going to Flowberry Fizz and get a move here shortly. Take a look at the highlight. Aviv comes in, finds Shadow, cleaning up what's left of Virgo. And then T1 Michael takes the punishing shot there before pumping the brakes and backing off.
Peterbot and Pollo definitely looking a little bit more set up this time around, but Peterbot going to find himself momentarily chopped, and Pollo, the only intention from this duo currently is to secure this forecast tower, and with nobody else in sight, Pollo and Peterbot have just unlocked knowledge for every future zone this game, but now they have to make sure that they can actually transition this into a solid late game run, because they've been cut short 2 times here today already. And again, no one looking to make it easy for this team.
Talk about Michael and Job. We're making that rotate out. Seems like an equally as dangerous duo's got sights on him. Nico and Flixie now making a move here, pushing into the wall, grabs the first one, takes the second. He's fast, he's quick. The reaction is so good for Flixie. And now up from top, coming in to see if he can end this. Vico grabs that wall, cuts him off. The double edit, the triple, doesn't find it. Backs off now. Great defense from Michael here as he finds 2 tags, so he is effectively putting up a very good defense, but I just have to, I was gonna say, give all respects here, of course, to the EU duo and back up.
That just seemed like such a stubborn battle there for Job, though. I mean, he could have looked to try and throw up another wall, maybe try and buy himself a little bit more time. Potentially may have just run out of materials, I'd have to assume. Michael down to wood build, so this duo definitely looking to be a little bit of shambles here. And Flixie, Vico know that they've got an extra 6 points waiting for them the moment that they secure this elimination onto Michael. And finally, another 12 points will be secured. And not only that, but opening up the opportunity to continue trying to control other teams that are stuck just on the outside of the edge of zone, closer to where some of the new POIs are located.
That was third place. This is fourth. Trulex and Chicho, as we're bending into the late half of the tournament now. Much more of a difficult game for Chicho and Trulex here, who, again, clearly have a bit of a problem at the drop being held out. What a shot. It's almost as if every time we tune in, that Monarch pistol damage is incredible. Is finding its mark. So what's happening on the other side of the sandy steps, though? The zone landed here. We talked about that changing the dynamic of the game. And surely we're seeing it start to come into play now, as Resigns and Dama have made it up the storm. So is Shari and Giras, the same teams here. But then off in the distance, get Peterbot with the eyes on the prize here.
Not only that, but Benno as well, keeping himself concealed just enough. Gets the chop off the Resigns' floor. Also gets a few tags in, but still not enough for Benno to want to key him just yet. Instead, he's going to regroup with Clicks and continue to hold down the station. But it's just a very difficult time to try and break away when you know that there's two other teams duking it out just above you on the hill.
Kovacs almost missed the train there, but he gets it just in time to join Huddy. They're pretty desperate if they're trying to secure loot from here. And that's the results, again, of sitting in the storm, being contested, being held a little too long for a moment there.
Huddy not even going to choose to stick around. They wanted the train. They nearly had it. But the fact is, MPF, they're going to have to leave this one empty-handed. And now, with only a handful of bandages in tow, Huddy and Kovacs could potentially be staring down the barrel of their own downfall. It was a risky play to try and make it for the train. I respect the call, though. The commitment, though, just impossible to find with so many eyes on.
Bunker play right now for Ping. No teammate, unfortunately, lost here just outside the underworld. So even for Huddy and Kovacs, there's still danger nearby. You never know who's sitting in the storm. Just really shows you that anything can happen. Meanwhile, Bryce and Bolts, this is one of the few times we've actually caught up with them kind of in the early / mid game here as things are starting to develop. This time it's up against Body Out and Reason. The floor tick here for Bolts. Bryce playing the other angles. Bad damage, though, coming in first.
Padilla has just been on fire today. He is not willing to budge. The moment that he sees an opening, he is immediately shooting back and typically winning out on some of those exchanges. And now he's able to overtake the high ground because of the damage that he applied onto Bolts just now. But Reason, the moment he starts to crank up, another team in the distance, a solo even, potentially threatening his position. Got a few shots in, but Bryce, Bolts, potentially not fully aware of the damage that Reason just absorbed. And they're gonna choose to actually sit into the low ground and wait for a new opportunity to see if they can engage yet again with the Germans.
Reason and Padilla playing a dangerous game here, though. A lot of these walls are not theirs. They are sitting in all this Bolts and Bryce territory. Now they have successfully infiltrated, if you will, this base here and taken over a good portion of it. Bryce is looking like he might be going for the edit out. If I've ever seen one, it's definitely getting set up. They recognize what's happening, and for that reason, jump back down.
Again, though, this is a lot of time being spent from both sides, and we've already seen a lot of teams here today struggling with some of these surge thresholds and maintaining damage that puts them in a position where they can just be comfortable on their rotates. And the longer these fights draw out, the easier it is for other duos to get ahead of you, to look back, take shots, prevent you from entering a solid position inside of the zone. And Baka and Pars, a little bit more so in control. Surge base inside of the heart of Nitrodrome. They've got a couple of white heals collected at the top of their base. Meanwhile, finally getting a little peek into what Cold and Acorn have been up to. Relatively quiet day so far, but we heard it first from Acorn. He's after that trophy.
Day 2 team still yet to show us it today. Couple points slipping down here from Acorn and Cold. You know, these things do happen. The adjustments being made by the other opponents have surely affected their strategy. But they will have to continue to adjust here, continue to make up for it. Bugha and Aviv seem to be on a faster track here today as well. Let's see what's going on here. So from one fight to a potential other, they're just getting situated. Seems like they found their home for now.
Slight gift as well. An extra bottle of Flowberry Fizz now to work with. Aviv and Bugha just want to make sure that they establish as much of a foundation as possible. Got a decent position inside of the zone, so don't need to make any risky plays when you're sitting with as much surge damage as they were, 333 above. But Acorn Cold tapping back in. It's Sato. They managed to find him yet again, but it's actually going to be Damo on the other side of the walls. Lot of traction picking up here. Just outside of Sandy Steps, and Acorn Cold, they're looking to collect. Cold still barreling down onto Cal Gamer, but just above, the backup has arrived, and Cold, he's going to have to disengage.
Yeah, Taman out of nowhere here, diving across, trying to get into this fight. Acorn and Cold almost had a set of eliminations waiting for them, but due to Clix and Vino shooting in at the box when they initiated, everything went downhill for a moment there. And now they're just trying to find a tag as they're below the surge, so they're in honestly desperate situation here.
At the same time, Acorn tries to take the walls there, but instead it's gonna be Cal and Amon doing what they can, but again, Cold getting a little bit too much foot traffic here. Cal still holding his position firm. He doesn't have his duo any longer, but Clix, Veno, they got the shots that they needed to. They know that they can third party this, no problem. Cold, he's so weakened as is. Cal just below. Two separate solos that Veno and Clix could look to collect on.
Yeah, and they've definitely started to change their focus in purely onto Cold now as they send him running. Now looking to see if they can pick up the spoils of the loot from Acorn, but nothing just yet, as they're kind of lost in this mix, and little do they know there is an Intellect and Sato here, right? So that team hasn't made any noise now, but look at that. They do secure the gear here. Very nice pickup for them. If nothing else, it was damage and new loot.
They basically just got to reap all the benefits of these exchanges that Acorn and Cold had initially established. And Cold, yet again, caught off guard, was trying to keep himself tucked away, but Cal gets the job done. At the very least, he'll have those two solid eliminations onto Acorn and Cold to work with, but he knows he's likely not safe for a whole lot longer here, because Veno and Clix, they've got an idea. They heard those shots go off. They're waiting for Cal to surface from these builds. But at the same time, they also kind of want to get a move on because they don't want to get stuck in the storm for too much longer here.
Yeah, it seems like Vino's going to give the call out here. Let's just get out, play smart. Clix is going to have to stop and heal for a second. They're going to huddle up together. Cal Gamer will live to see another day. Very, very close engagement there.
I always think it's so impressive how every single time we check in with Queasy and Thomas HD today, it just seems like they have so much surge, and for good reason, but somebody who wishes they had a little bit of backup at this point. Kovacs just lost his duo to King, and this exchange has been trailing them ever since the Rebels roost. King and Phaser have refused to leave Kovacs and Huddy alone, but now Kovacs as a solo, he's got to deal with the likes of Breet and Ritual to his east, and not only that, but a collection of duos slightly west of his current position. A late rotate is going to be a necessity if he wants to power his way through here, but some of the shots that he's applying, he knows he needs to get that damage just above threshold, and still exposing his position. It's a risky engage.
Bugha and Aviv on the other side find their way to the new zone. The half in, half out already revealed. They're below the surge though. They will have to find a duo or land on someone shortly, and from their sights, there isn't anyone nearby. There it is. Finally, they see a fresh build. It's going to be Teeny, and it's a single box, so the confidence is surging here, but Bugha damage first. No extra heals. This is all around disastrous, right, for Bugha and Aviv right now. And it's only a matter of moments. They will have to